You don't need to leave a networking event with a new job.
Your first goal can be that you went. The problem with this party, as a power couple who is half introverted and half extroverted, you can guess which half is which. The first party, you spent the first hour of our 2-hour party trying to combine individual servings of guacamole into one container. But Lauren was completely fine all the way leading up to the event. And then as soon as people started showing up, had a full
panic attack.
All
right. Would you rather go to a networking event with name tags or enjoy a Zoom meeting networking event with icebreakers?
First of all, terrible question. This is like, would you rather burn alive or drown? Neither.
Yes.
What I do like about both of these is someone who is terrible with both names and faces as an American living with face blindness, is that name tags provide the name and the Zoom box provides the name.
All right. We do need the name is what
the
you're saying.
The name is very important. Actually, I think that people should wear name tags at all times.
See, when we were at Adobe, I was so mad at our lanyard name tags.
Adobe Summit?
And yes, at Adobe Summit. And I was like, you know what? This is ripe for disruption. This is ruining the fit. What do we do instead? That's not the topic we're talking about right now.
No,
but
I'm
here for it.
I agree that we could use better name tags that are perhaps less intrusive to your general outfit vibe.
Yeah. I thought maybe like a clutch or something.
Or they should do the courtesy of sending a photo of what the lanyards are going to look like ahead of time so you can coordinate your new
Plan around it. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So we had our networking parties last
not working
year.
parties.
We call them not working parties because we figured and felt like we did really, really good networking at conferences, but that the conference part was actually super boring. We didn't want to do that
to go to the
part.
parties.
We just wanted to hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
And so last year, well, it ended up being way too much travel for us.
Yeah, way too much travel. But
we can do it again. But it was awesome.
A lot of people, like, doing events like this is not new. A lot of people do like a sit down dinner or like an activity. Like, we didn't really want to do that. We just wanted to have a party with our friends.
A party with your friends. Exactly. Yeah.
But the problem with this party, as a power couple who is half introverted and half extroverted, you can guess which half is which, is we handled the anxiety of hosting these events in very different, complementary yet very antagonistic ways.
Yeah, our anxiety was not on the same page.
No, I was always extremely anxious leading up to the event that no one was going to come, and then once everyone got there, I was mostly fine. Like I think multiple times went up to you after a few people got there, like, all my friends are here.
This is like best day of my life.
I love seeing everybody that I love here in one place. But Lauren was completely fine all the way leading up to the event. And then as soon as people started showing up, had a full
panic attack.
And with the first party, you spent the first hour of our 2-hour party trying to combine individual servings of guacamole into one container. There was another party where you spent the first hour of the party trying to get
our video to work.
Yes, the like background music.
It was literally a
slideshow to go up on the 15-inch TV in the corner of the room. That was not really adding anything to the event to have it or not have it. And there was something like that
at every party.
There was one where you were blowing up balloons for a long time.
December.
So why don't you talk us as the introvert in this half? What was happening for you in those moments?
So I don't need to I discuss that with my therapist, not on this podcast. But I just, I feel like there were some moments like when I'm with my friends and I'm in a conversation, it's fine. I just, big crowds, I'm like, I don't know when to start or stop a conversation. I don't know who to talk to next. Have I spent enough time with every person here? It's very overwhelming. So I just feel like I need to get in a groove. I think the problem that I ran into is that I did need an hour to figure out my place in the
hour
world.
to warm up.
But the parties
are only 2 hours.
Over.
So by the time you really got going, the party ended.
And I was like, where are we going next?
At that point in time, I had been on for 2 hours plus the setup time, and I was done.
Yeah. I always was like, I'm here for the after party. Where are we going?
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, this was the party. We're going to bed. Also, we just have different circadian rhythms. Actually, things are going really well for us right now because you just
I'm
got
jet
back
lagged.
from a long trip to Paris, so you're very jet lagged, which means your body is on Lauren Central European time, which is Sydney's Eastern Standard Time.
It's
and
going
we
great.
both woke up at 6 a.m.
It's going great.
It's going great.
Tips as an introvert, I have to say, and I said it before, just like I have to have a friend. I have to have an emotional support friend.
An emotional support anxiety
I also
Sherpa.
have to make sure that like I'm going to like the event in theory. Like even if I'm there, it's a little bit hard. Like it may just, that's who you are as an introvert. It's gonna be a little bit hard. Like make sure you're not going to something you already hate the idea of.
Sure.
You know, like if you like hate axe throwing,
Don't go
do
to
not
axe
go.
throwing.
Do not go.
Do not go.
Do not come.
As an introvert, do you think it is better to go to an event like axe throwing or something where you have like an activity, not just free form social time?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm trying, like, all of the thing about networking and relationships is, in general, is that in order to grow close to someone, you need to have shared experiences with them.
Right.
And so when
You
you
need a
get
common enemy, and sometimes that enemy can just be, how stupid is this axe throwing event?
right, but why are we here?
Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Whose
No
idea
shade
was
on axe
this?
throwing, just kidding.
Axe
Shade.
throwing as a concept. It could be an escape room. It could be anything.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I'm thinking through. If I really like was in a city where I knew no one,
Yeah.
I'd probably look for the most niche networking event I could. Like I wouldn't go to like women in tech. That seems like incredibly broad.
Yeah, too broad.
I'd probably try to find like the technology user group that we
Yeah,
used.
sure. That
And
makes
then
sense.
you would have that common
Right,
interest to
right.
like
A shared special interest, right
shared
away.
special interest.
I
yeah.
actually went to a networking event recently that I loved, and I never say that, but it was called Tech Walk. Have you heard of this? It is in like 5 cities now. Not in Cleveland yet. I'm sorry. Maybe you can start it.
No thanks. But go ahead.
I just find like a lot of networking events are really centered around drinking, and it does not always bring exactly the right. That's where a lot of my bad experiences have come from like being in a professional setting and sometimes me, has had too much to drink. But this is like, we met in the morning on a Friday at like 9 a.m. and went for a walk in Central Park, and they had organizers for the event. There were 4 hosts, and you got broken up into groups, and every 15 minutes they like, now you switch partners. Now switch partners again.
Yeah.
Now switch partners again.
I think that's what I like about events like that, or others. Maybe actually in Cleveland, I do think they just started something. It's not walking, but it's like sports stuff, like basketball,
Yeah, that's
like playing
cool.
basketball or something like that. But I think as an introvert, like tell me what to
Yes.
do.
Like, don't just put me in a room full of people that are drinking and be
good
like,
luck.
have fun.
Yeah, no, like I want to speed date. Like
Yes, it was like speed dating while walking.
Yeah,
And you know what?
I knew
I've
that.
also discovered recently, I have been on this journey where I have reached the phase of adulthood where unfortunately, I have realized that drinking water, eating protein and fiber,
Walking,
and like walking
exercising.
actually make me feel really good. And that is sad news for me to share.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found that even if I go for a walk by myself, I'm like having the best ideas. I'm like literally walking through the park, talking into my phone, being, and then what if we did this? I like have a long Apple note of just voice text to myself about work ideas that I have. But that was so true for the tech walk thing too. Like now I'm just talking to another person. I had like met some really great people there. It was really nice. And it wasn't loud. No one was drunk. We were just a beautiful day in Central Park.
also like group eating in front of each other is kind
Yes,
of weird.
terrible.
It's like
You're
awkward.
Let's put you in the worst networking situation possible. You need to stand up and eat something out of your hand while you're in a loud
Or
room
like a dinner.
having a conversation with a stranger,
Or like a formal
and you're drunk.
A formal dinner where I'm like, the chicken is starting to taste like chicken and I don't know what to do about it right now.
The problem with the seated dinner is whatever 3 people you're sitting
You're
around,
screwed.
that's
That's
it for the rest of
Yeah,
the night. So
yeah.
if you get seated with 3 people that you like don't have that much in common with, are not like really valuable connections for you, this dinner is kind of a waste of time. Now you're here for 90 minutes and you can't leave.
Yeah. Also, last thing I'll say about being an introvert for networking, I do feel like if I were to show up to an event that was like, this is a networking event, that
Demand avoidance.
Well, to me, but I do think that would actually be better because then I'm like, everyone else here is also feeling incredibly awkward. We're all in the same boat. Then it's
that is
like
the nice thing about like speed dating. Like we were watching Love on the Spectrum in our hotel room last night.
Connor, what an angel!
Excellent show. But so it was one of the guys was on speed date, and it is nice because it is like a very vulnerable act. Networking is a very vulnerable act. Just like dating is networking is just dating for work. You're like, you're dating to see if like
something might happen later.
Maybe not so into nature. Sometimes that happens, but sometimes it's good. Don't check the no box while they're still sitting across from you.
Yeah, that's my best advice. Whatever you do, just like think about it later.
Yeah. My actual best networking advice is even if someone seems like don't have a lot in common, you aren't really a great connection, keep the bridge there. Anyway, like you just never know what's going to happen. They might know someone who knows someone, whatever. It's like it never hurts to just be kind to another human being. Yeah. Recognize the act of vulnerability of showing up in the first place.
And that for some of us, it takes a lot. Some of us, we should have had an hour to get ready and warm up, but we didn't.
You needed to take a lap around the reservoir before everyone got there. Like hype yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got some tips for introverts here.
All right. Well, you need them more than me.
Are you saying you're just going to walk out now? Like, you don't need to be here right now.
Lay it on me.
We're good. Set small achievable goals. Love this one because it all feels very overwhelming. Yes. And so
you don't need to leave a networking event with a new job.
It's kind of like when you want to go to the gym and you're like, you don't have to work out. You just have to
go there. Yes. That's what I tell myself about walking. Like, I'm never going to tell myself that I'm going for a run. That's way too much pressure. I'm going to go for a walk. And then like, if I feel like doing a little bit of jogging while I'm there, just like see if the moment feels right.
Yeah. So show up.
Yeah. I think
that's number one,
you need to have just like your first goal can be that you went. It doesn't matter if you stand in the corner literally the entire time. You went. The second time, you should connect with one person on LinkedIn. Have one conversation and you connect with the person on LinkedIn and that's it. Mm-hmm. The third time, maybe 2 people.
You know what? Also, we're talking about events specifically a little bit, but that's true. I met someone on the airplane yesterday.
That's true. You can network anywhere you want to.
Yeah. Like if you see something, say something. Maybe.
If you are dating, it's so funny that we keep using the dating example because neither one of us have dated in a very long time because we got married when we were literally children. But if you were dating, you don't just like wait for the speed dating event to talk to other people that you might be interested in.
I'm going to be doing my dating.
I'm not dating. Later. Right now, I'm just on this airplane. I'm just working. I'm just at the grocery store. No,
just like have an open vibe.
Just like be friendly, be approachable, be kind.
For sure.
You never know.
Use curiosity as a conversation starter. For sure. Ask questions. Like, be the first to ask questions. Memorize 3 questions you will ask while you get there. Now, you have to be
careful because if you're too far on the question asking train, it can start to become a little bit of an interrogation.
Bring 2.
And they should be lighthearted questions, you know, like easy. I actually have a very good friend who, when I first met her, it was when we were both on maternity leave with our second kids. We were like going for a walk after postnatal yoga, and she started asking me all these questions, and it was like so many questions that I was like, is she like in an MLM? Like, are you trying to recruit me for Mary Kay or something? And it turns out she's a journalist. she's like,
actually,
she's a journalist at the New Yorker. I was like, oh, I get it. I get it.
Plan your exit.
You know what we love? An Irish exit.
Irish goodbyes.
Love an Irish exit. Yeah, you don't need to announce. This isn't the airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
You do not need to go say goodbye to everyone that you talk to.
Absolutely not. That's a Midwestern thing.
Gracefully exit the conversation first, and then Irish exit the room.
You can also gracefully exit the conversation and be like, I'm going to go to the restroom.
Yeah.
And then just never come back. Did you ever read Mindy Kaling's autobiography? It's called like, Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that part where she talks about how she had so many really cheap coats from like Forever 21 because she became so known for Irish exiting parties that she was like, I'm not leaving. See, I'm leaving my coat here. But she did it on purpose because she was just not going to come back for the coat. Iconic move.
One time my coat was stolen from a bar. This is a side quest. Literally somebody, and I know it was stolen because previous to that, this person had been putting someone else's coat on, and they were like, why are you wearing my coat? And the person was like, oh, sorry, I thought it was mine. But then...
Wait, they were just like there looking for a coat?
They were just like a person
coat
at the
shopping
bar,
at a bar?
also putting on a coat and walking out. Yes.
Did you have
Criminal.
money in it?
Probably not. I was very young. It was poor.
Well, they're targeting the wrong bar.
Anyway. Those are hot tips.
Those are our tips for networking.
Godspeed.
Good luck out there.
Good luck out there, little introvert. This episode is brought to you by marketingops.com, the go-to resource for anyone who hears, can you just send this email real quick? 10 times a day. Templates, job boards, smart people, zero fluff. Sign up at marketingops.com and make your job suck less by next Tuesday. New members get 10% off paid membership with our code PFB10. Introverts, best place for networking. That won't be overwhelming.
Well, I guess smaller groups are probably better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I would go, this is speaking for me, I would go to a Marketo user group.
Yeah.
A HubSpot user
very
group.
niche.
Those are not really networking events, but the people there
small group of people
talk about a very specific thing.
You have a huge amount in common just at the start.
Yeah.
That's good. It is much better than like if you feel overwhelmed, going to like a women in tech or something very broad will be
too much.
More overwhelming.
Right.
Although,
also,
I mean, you, an introvert, were at our extremely niche parties that were...
But I threw them also. I was required to be there.
That's a different
I don't know if I would have come as myself now because I knew so many people already.
Yeah.
But it'd be really tough to just show up otherwise, you know?
Yeah. There were people that just showed up that didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was very brave.
It was very brave. But also, I think, you know, the people that are hosting the events want it to go well. And so they'll take care of you.
Right.
Shepherd you around.
Right.
Little puppies and lambs. Also, you know, I was just thinking, like, people all the time, and I probably less so now that I'm further in my career or have built my network, that people all the time will be like, do you know this person? You should talk to them. Mm-hmm. Like, if someone says that to you, you should do it.
Just talk to them.
Yeah. I think it's less overwhelming to like get on a call with a specific person to be like, oh, wow, we have this commonality that someone wanted to introduce us. Why do we think that is?
Right.
So if they're local, getting coffee like that seems fine, feels fine.
Right.
Even a Zoom call. Like I've had a couple this year. It's just like,
we've done that with a lot of people that are interested in consulting with Emmy too. Like for a long time, we had no shortage of consultants and felt very overwhelmed by like, we need to get enough client work for all these people, even though that was not really true. But especially on people that were referred to us by someone that we know and trust, and we're like, you really need to meet this person. Like, they're really wonderful. I've worked with them before. Yeah. Just like meet with them anyway. You know, like we don't have work for you right now, but want to keep the door open. And that's turned into really valuable connections for us when we, you know, have a project come in and we're like, oh my gosh, all of our project managers are busy. Like who do we have that we have talked to? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's, you know, people like, it's like one of those things like thought, I'm not gonna be able to say thought leader out loud, but like thought leaders would be like, I'm a connector. Like have you seen that?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm a super connector.
Yeah. I feel like you should be a super connector. Just don't say
don't
that.
Call yourself that. I don't think actual super connectors self-identify that.
Like you can't be like, you know what? I've done twice now. Introduce someone.
And it went well.
To someone else.
I'm incredible.
I'm a super connector.
I'm a super connector. That sounds like a disease.
Okay. My point is, if a super connector wants to connect you with someone, you should do it. And alternatively, you should also be that hub for someone else.
Absolutely. I think that there is like a networking karma.
Agree.
What you're putting out there is what you're getting back. Mm-hmm. I meet random people all the time that work in an industry that is like not at all, like I have a very good friend who does freelance PR for like weddings and baby companies, like wedding companies and baby companies. And I have met people that are like, I'm a copywriter specifically for wedding brands. They're like, well, I got a great person for you to meet. I think you guys will be friends. It's not gonna have anything to do with me, but like, that's good. Put that out there.
Yeah. I just connected my daughter's dance teacher with one of my Pilates teachers because they both like danced in New York for a long time and now live in Cleveland. I'm like, you probably have a lot in common. You're the only two people I know that have done those exact things. So like maybe you should meet. You live 5 minutes from each other.
Yeah.
The other thing is like digitally, we can talk about it a little bit more, but like on LinkedIn and in some of our content, I have met some new people like over the past couple of years that we've been more active on LinkedIn, where like, you know, you just kind of like, if you comment on someone's post and like I said, like, oh, we talked about Michael Exton a little bit, like the accountant for marketing agencies. I'm like, why is he commenting on like this like random person's post? It's because the way the algorithm works is like starts to group these like networks of people together. And like, just be active on LinkedIn. Just like do it.
You know, every time you say something about being active on LinkedIn, I think about that part in Juno where she's like, they ask me if I'm sexually active. Like, how do I know? Like, can you deactivate someday? Like, how many times do I have to post on LinkedIn to be considered LinkedIn active?
It's a good question. I would say like it expires.
It's like the email consent with Castle, you know?
I'd say if you haven't posted on LinkedIn in 2 weeks and you are not on vacation and you are not, this isn't like a season for you of like overwhelm, you're inactive.
You're inactive. The committee has met, the thought leadership roundtable,
and you
deactive.
Yeah.
Deactivated.
Agreed.
Inactive.
Well, I'm sorry. Tell me what else to say.
Subscribe to our Substack, Pretty Funny Business. It's like if your group chat had better formatting and fewer typos. For our paid subscribers, we drop bonus stories and behind-the-scenes takes that you won't hear on the pod. Because sometimes the best boundaries are delivered in bold, italic, 12-point serif. We're now going to have some time from our PFB mailbag with our user-submitted stories about networking horrors.
We've been wanting to do mailbag.
I know that
I'm so excited.
Secondhand embarrassment is really hard for you, so I just want to check and make sure that you're ready.
I'm ready, but
Okay.
you'll know.
Okay, you'll know. Submission number 1. These are all anonymous, by the way.
Anon, please.
Anon, please. Anon, please. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Someone I met at a mixer introduced me to a group by the wrong name. Like completely wrong, not a mispronunciation, just a wrong name. I felt too awkward to correct him, so I spent the next 30 minutes pretending to be Chelsea. First of all, I would just like to apologize in case this was me and reiterate my desire for permanent name tags for all people at all times.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think, maybe, you know what? Maybe she was like, actually, like things aren't going well. And so I will just stick with Chelsea.
Maybe Chelsea is a braver person than me.
I know.
You just put on your Chelsea persona.
Can I say that if this was worth anything to you, you absolutely should have been like, nope,
that's not my name, actually.
Name.
Not the person who should have felt awkward in that situation was him, not you.
Yep.
Not you. It is not rude or impolite for you to step up and say, actually, my name is Sydney. I prefer to go by my real name, which is Sydney.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Hi, everyone. I prefer to go by
my real name, which is Sydney. All right. And if he's a dick about it, then you just learned not to waste your time on that connection.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Submission number 2, also anon to protect our listeners. I was invited to a small networking roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
I hit reply all on the RSVP and said, and I quote, this is something you would do. Was this your submission? Sounds great. I'll try not to be weird. It went to the entire attendee list, including the host of VP at HubSpot.
Okay, I stand by that this was actually not a mistake that they made. This was just, you're right. You said this sounds like you. I would not be submitting this as an oops, though.
No, this would be something you felt very proud of.
That I did on purpose. Because you know what? If you were weird enough to send that to one person, you were weird enough to say it to all of those people.
Yes.
And so, own it. Own it.
Last but not least, submission number 3. Skipped the networking happy hour at a conference because I was overwhelmed. Relatable. Hung out in the hotel lobby with a book instead. Ended up sitting next to a speaker from a panel that I loved. That's great. We talked about weird hobbies and snack preferences for an hour. She introduced me to someone at her company 2 weeks later. I got the job. This
Nailed it.
is a success story.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of you do not have to go to the overwhelming event if that's not the right networking fit for you. And being open to
a
a
conversation.
networking experience no matter where you are.
Yeah. And especially if like you're reading a book, like, and they also got to the point where they're networking, like that person had a choice, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were like, they could just keep
Ignore you.
reading and
Right.
not do anything.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, make a move.
That was
Make the
beautiful.
first move.
Make the first move. Be brave.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're never going to see that person again otherwise. It's fine.
Right. Who cares?
Like only if you want to.
Who cares?
Yeah. In conclusion,
In conclusion.
I love a good outline. In conclusion,
Okay, what did you learn
what
today
I've
about
learned
networking,
today about
as an
networking,
introvert?
you know what? And I've mostly just like worked this out myself, I think, as I've been talking. Define what you really want out of the situation.
Sure.
Like, do you need a job? Do you want friends? Do you
Mm-hmm.
just want to expand your network generally? And just go for it. Like, and just don't go to a big one then. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to start. Like, maybe just like,
Just do what feels right for you,
yeah.
but don't stay
And
inside.
don't overthink it.
Don't stay at home. Just get out there.
You will not network at home.
No.
Unless you're going on a Zoom meeting. That's fine. I get that. But like, you can be like, I was going to go to that networking thing, but now I'm not. Like, you will have lost out.
You
And
should
you
just
should know
go.
that. It is not a neutral choice to stay home. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And just because you go doesn't mean you have to stay there for the whole time. It doesn't mean that you're trapped there. Like, you have free will. If
Yeah.
at any point in time you're like, this is not for
this
me.
sucks. Just
go.
leave.
Just leave.
You're fine. It's
Take
good.
your Forever 21 coat and leave it behind. Good luck out there, little podcast.